I'm going to show you how you can make a steak that'll taste like it came right out of your favorite steakhouse. For the last few years, my family have been doing a steakhouse-inspired menu for Christmas, which I think is way better than having Thanksgiving Part 2. I'm starting off with the 16-ounce bone-in ribeyes, and this is my favorite cut because it has a lot of marbling, which is going to add so much flavor to the steak. I'm rubbing it down with a little avocado oil to help the seasoning stick, and I'm only seasoning it with a blend of salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. When you're making a simple seared or grilled steak, you do not need to season it with a whole bunch of seasonings. It's just going to burn as soon as you put it in the pan. This is a thick cut, so it's okay to be a little heavy-handed with the seasoning. If the steak is cold when it goes into the heat, it's going to tense up and become tough. So I say season it and then leave it out for about 30 minutes to an hour so it can come to room temp. Now when pan searing a steak, a cast iron skillet is going to give you the best results. You're going to set the heat to medium high and let the cast iron get really hot, like you kind of want to see it smoking just a little bit. Then add in a high heat cooking oil, stir the fat cap on the side to render off some of that fat, and then lay the steak flat in the skillet and press down on the meat. That's going to help you get that nice even crust. Once you add the steak in, cook both sides for about 3 to 4 minutes depending on how thick your steak is and your preferred temperature. Once you add the steak in, don't move it, don't flip it, just let it sear. When it's ready, then flip it and then add in some high quality unsalted butter. I'm using Kerrygold along with some fresh rosemary, thyme, and garlic cloves that I gently smashed. Now at this step, you're going to continuously baste the steak with that butter. Baste for about 1 to 2 minutes. And remember how I said you don't need a lot of seasonings? The aromatics is going to infuse that butter and give this steak so much flavor while keeping it juicy. I prefer mine between medium and medium well, so I take it out once the internal temp reaches about 143 because we're going to let the steak rest and the heat is going to carry over and continue to cook the steak. Y'all, it's important to let your steak rest for like 5 to 10 minutes so all the juices can stay inside. If you cut it right away, the steak is going to dry out a lot quicker. And always remember to cut your steak against the grain. That's going to give you the most tender bite. When you taste your steak, it's going to taste so juicy, so tender, and super flavorful. Save your money and make you a nice steak right at home.